Hi friends, it's Suzanne here from sunstampin.com. I'm a Canadian Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I want to welcome you to my weekly Wildcard Wednesday video on my blog and YouTube channel. The card designs I share today are a little more technique driven, but nothing too complicated. I also sell the products I feature in this video. I hope you enjoy my free video tutorial and would love to see you shop with me. For today's card, I'm using the stamp set Falling Flowers and Brusho as my coloring medium. I have a piece of Canson watercolor paper here, and I have treated it with an anti-static bag, which removes any kind of static or fingerprints or anything like that, so that when I stamp with Versamark ink, which is what I'm doing here, and I will be sprinkling on some embossing powder in a minute, the silver embossing powder actually. And so that powder bag actually helps for those particles not to stick to the paper. You only want it to stick where you've stamped. So I'm hoping I'm explaining that right. I know a few of you are new to stamping. I've heard this in a few comments, and I just wanted to make sure that you understand the concept. Now, normally I use my heat tool and heat from behind, but because this is a thick watercolor cardstock, I'm heating it from the front so that heat doesn't stay on the paper too long and make it warp. I want to make this paper as straight as possible. So I'm using my Stamparatus in a unique way today. Sometimes I tape my watercolor paper to a board, but I really wanted to give this a go. So I have some disc magnets, and I am adding water to my flowers and sprinkling with the Brusho. So I have yellow here, and there's only 5 colors that Stampin' Up! Sells at the moment, and I've decided to use 3 out of the 5. So yellow, brilliant red, and moss green. So you can see how these pigment powders, and I don't know if they're watercolor or if they're ink. I'm not sure. I've done a little research and I can't find out. Some people say one thing, some people say another thing, I don't know. And I even went to the company and they don't know. So it's just pigment. So this pigment sort of blooms with the water. Now you can see what I'm doing. I've wet the whole piece. So I let my yellow flowers and my red flowers dry, and now I'm going in with water on the whole area for the background, and I'm sprinkling on the green. Now the green is a really different animal. It has purple and stuff in it. It's kind of weird, but I really kind of wanted that purple. So I tried not to help it along too much, and you can understand now why I wanted the magnets just to actually hold some space. I eventually, I wanted these magnets to actually hold the paper down so that it dried flat. Normally I use painter's tape on a board, but sometimes that's a pain in my butt to get out. So the Stamparatus was right there, and I thought it was a really neat idea to use it to hold down my paper so that as it dried flat. So I'm watercoloring a few more flowers exactly the same way I did, but this time I'm going to cut them out, fussy cut them. And you know, it wasn't even dry yet, to be honest. And you can see that little wet sploosh at the back here of the paper, watercolor paper. It was still wet. And I'm impatient. So I went ahead and put it on a card anyway. I was really impressed at how flat it was, though. So there wasn't a lot of bowing, and it had been, you know, saturated with water and also heat embossed too, right? So, and it's laying that flat. So it's a I'm going to use the Stamparatus for my watercolor papers from now on. All right, so I use the Itty Bitty Greetings. Again, can't get enough of that stamp set. And the sentiment says, hope you're feeling better. I also used a couple of flowers from the Falling Flower set. And then I actually cut that little strip down. I'm adding dimensionals to it. And then I'm just sort of tucking in and around the flowers and the sentiment. And that pretty much is my card for today. So it's a unique way of using the Stamparatus and also just very simply watercoloring with Brusho. So thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you again soon. Bye. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. On screen are 2 more videos for inspiration. Click on the maple leaf for my blog, or click on me to subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching.